everybody, and welcome on this lovely Saturday for some lovely WARNO, as we have a tournament finals in front of us here. The rookie tournament has come into its final match here. Sadly, none of my rookies are involved here anymore, but the two guys that beat my rookies are in here. Hotbrass and Harrier. My last remaining rookie, Saint Javelin, sadly got knocked out by Hotbrass. But let's see how these two here will fare against each other. 7th Panzer Division and 5th Blinde up against each other here in match number 1. And yeah, they had a fair share of strong opponents on the way here. Yeah, third card Monty here getting kicked out by Harry Air, Green HD, Theoman, and then down below Sagefilio, SGT Angel, and my Saint Javelin going down here. And yeah, here we go. 5th versus 7th tournament finals. Two pretty classic divisions here. And yeah, if you guys want to go into a tournament, check out the second super tournament coming up. Is it not connected yet? Yes, the bot is not connected yet. But yeah, the second super tournament is coming up on the 7th and on the 8th and 9th of... There we go. On the 8th and 9th of July. And we're gonna have a prize pool again. It's already $50. Chances are it will go a bit higher than that until we arrive there. So if you want to play in some hot WARNO action, get in there and have some fun. And yeah, let's see what we get here. Hotbrass with the 5th Blinde, bringing in some MX-30B2s, some Roland 3s here. Couple of MX-10 supplaned on the other side. 7th Panzer obviously has the T-72s, T-72 M1s here. Pretty good medium tanks, Pioneers and Panzerjägers running through the north. Spezialaufklärers coming in good numbers as well. But on the other side, we have some Eclair in the VLRA 50 coming around, some Canadians with Apilas going down here. Okay, interesting. Milan 2, I guess, yeah, for the center as an ATGM. AMX-10 supplaned with one chasseur for the north. That chasseur is really optimistic of its deployment position there. Highly doubt it will get there, but we're gonna see how it goes, as both sides are getting close to ready here. Up north, some Panzerjägers, a couple of T-72 as a big push here. The northern flank seems to be the focus here of Harrier. Whilst on the other side, it is the south, with 3 AMX-30B2s, one of them being a CV version, trying to push towards Charlie. And that is going to be interesting. BMP-1 with Mordschützen, with Pioneers, all coming up here, all trying to get through. Will unload in Charlie. Spezialaufklärers trying to get for this position over here. Could then jump one further forward as well. Clears here, doing pretty nicely as well. Apilas will get all the way down here. We'll have some fun on the way there. Roland 3s coming along. Getting into the rear here. We'll try to create a nice AA umbrella for the MX-30s. Whilst up north we have one Strela here for these T-72s. That should not be enough to protect them fully. Self-Clever coming around. SPW will capture the middle. But there's 2 CVs on the side of Hotbrass, one of them the MX-30, one of them being the P4. So Hotbrass will get a slight advantage when it comes to points early on. As this zone here in the south will get captured first. And Harrier has to bring in something first. Wheel 50 LA here getting killed, but it already unloaded the Spezialaufklärers. Pioneers here might be in a bit more trouble, but good unload there. MX-10 RC needs to be careful as the T-72s come around. Ooh, SPW not taking the perfect route there. The Hotbrass even takes a couple of +3 takes there for a couple of seconds. And we'll get now +2 here for a while. Maybe even could go all the way through here, as only one Mordschützen sitting around over here. Not even gonna protect the southern zone. So the AMX-10 RCs and the AMX-30s moving forward. AMX-30s really solid even in CQC thanks to the G at 20mm. It makes them quite scary there. VLR A50 moving forward. There is a Conquerors around that is trying to get some ATGMs out. He's trying to hit the VLR A50 over here. Not quite finding the kill. Meanwhile, in the north, the T-72's here on the way. But, ooh, losing the Strela. This could enable some airplay. Where is the airplay? Ah, it's more AMX-30 B2s. Or only B versions, actually. AMX-10 gets a nice hit against the T-72 as well. Could have even gotten for the kill there. But more T-72s around. Has to be careful there, as it is completely on its own. The chasseurs got killed off further south, Motschützen pushing forward. Meanwhile though, the direct south here will get captured, and autocannons and AMX-10s already attacking. SPW at least contests the zone, but that still means a +2 for now for Hotbrass. Only 100 points up so it's not a major advantage just yet. Meanwhile, AMX-10 RC still has to fear for its life in the north. Spezialaufklärer moving further forward. Milan 2 here might be in trouble with the Motschützen. AMX-30B2 goes down in the south. The Motschützen and the BMP-1 get the kill there. AMX-10 moving around. Some infantry as support for all of this would be nice. Maybe some flamethrowers or something. AMX-10 RC in the north really has to be careful. T-72s on this range, super scary for it. As the MX-30Bs moving in. They don't want to go into the infight though. It's not B2s actually, it's only the MX-30Bs, and they have heat rounds. And that means if they get closer, they don't get more penetration, but obviously the T-72s do get more penetration, so your best traits are at the longest range, because the enemy doesn't have any extra hits there. Whilst when they get closer, they actually start to deal more damage to you. CV AMX-30B2 goes down in the south as well. This is rather problematic here. I'm not sure if the Conquerors got it or what exactly it got killed by. Maybe the Motschützen just before they died. But that is pretty unfortunate here for Hotbrass. Stopping the tick. And yeah, the advantage is there, but it's not really sizable here. As the AMX-10 RC in the north falls as well. Motschützen here pushing forward, combined arms, quite solid here by Harry Air, and doing a lot with little here in the south. Roland 3, at least getting rid of the Me Too here. T-72 coming up though, getting the VLRA. AMX-10 RC has to be careful. Smokes off, as the Jaguar HE is trying to come in here in the center. Gets the Motschützen. Coop around now as well. It's only a single one though. But the MiG-23 in the skies as well. Roland 3 still around. AMX-10 goes down though. Roland will need to be careful there now. They might find a kill on the MiG. Oh, why is it? Ah, it should have shot the second shot here before moving away. MiG-23 got hit, but doesn't get killed. That's the P4 PC coming up, but a lot of frontline units here dying for Hotbrass, and that's a major, major issue. MX-30B slowly moving forward to the rear. Chasseur coming in. MX-10 RC rolling in for the south. The Spezialaufklärer will move further forward. 2 points here for Harry Air. MTLB supply coming in for the north. SPW 40P2 moving in. As Gazelle Hot 2 chilling out in the north, trying to get some kills here on the T-72. Coop out of ammo. And the Hot gets a shot out, but T-72 reacting quickly enough. Good reaction there by Harry Air. Getting it out of there for now. As Chasseurs come in once more. AMX-30B2 here, having some nice line of sight. P4 PC should get into a good spot as well. Good kills here with the Coronary Voltageers and the AMX-30B. Spezialaufklärer is the next one to be hunted over here. Hotbrass holding the line nicely. P4 PC capturing the south. AMX-30B2 trying to deal with the BMP-1. And now try to retaliate. Out of cannon range though. First one goes down. P4 PC gets the capture there. AMX-30 should not have a troubled stare. +4 for Hotbrass at the moment. And that is good. Well, it's VLRA moving around over here. Frontline still rather solid. The kills here lately against the T-72s and the BMP is pretty important. More chasseurs coming in. Interesting position to unload them. The MX-10 RC, obviously scary. The Roland 3 still protecting is nice as well. As the north, though, yeah, using AMX-30s here will not be enough. Losing the Milan 2, quite painful as well. Some smoke mortaring coming around. The SPW, not easily attackable here for the AMX-30s. Especially with the T-72 coming around. But it should be potentially doable here. Supply trucks will be nice, but with 5 different tanks here, the Modschützen, obviously, you have to be careful. The RPG-7VL is not something to sneeze at, especially if you're as lightly armored as the MX-10 RC. But if you maneuver nicely here, you can absolutely beat all of this. You just need to scout this. The Eclairs needed for that as well. The MX-10's moving in directly here into the infight, and that is not a good idea. Modschützen here missing. Pretty unfortunate. And, ooh, T-72 though gets the kill in the south. First AMX-10 RC going down. This is a major mistake here by Hotbrass. This is a major mistake by Hotbrass here. AMX-10 RC number 2 goes down in this rookie tournament finals. T-72 moving forward. As mortars coming around. The chasseurs here rolling in from the rear. AMX-30B2 coming in for the front line as well. Su-25 flying in the skies. Roland gets one good hit. Second one doesn't hit though. P4PC getting killed off. And that means the center has fallen to Harry Air. And with the T-72 attacking the P4, Harry Air most likely gonna be on a +3 soon. Most likely gonna kill another CV here. And that is a massive problem here. AMX-30B2 coming around to deal with the Modschützen. Not quite dealing with the T-72 yet. T-72 getting a shot, not getting a hit yet. The MX-30 actually the first one to hit in this fight. But the T-72 now comes around, and it's only AMX-30B, so it's not the hard-hitting one here. But the chasseurs come in, Modschützen and T-72 defending themselves though. +3 situation here for Harry Air. But the north is pretty much under control here. For the red side as well. And this is all pretty problematic for the player in blue here. Hotbrass in trouble. MX-30B engaging the Modschützen. Chasseurs coming in numbers. Gonna be pushing forward here. As the TRM 2000 comes around. T-72 gets killed. And yeah, Modschützen chilling in the south, getting routed. Chasseurs and Eclairs trying to get the Modschützen out of here. Whilst in the middle, you see the Eclairs getting hit. Mistral, good ATGM, good surface to MSL, good manpad there, but obviously not really helpful here right now. Jaguar coming in with HE bombs, that is already a bit more helpful. Not quite getting the kill, but should allow the AMX-30B2s here to win this duel. Ooh, Coop about to reload. And then it might be really dangerous here. Jaguar though, not quite finding the kill. Supply truck at least might get killed. T-72 went down to the AMX-30s. As the supply truck does go down. Jaguar does survive. Chasseurs coming around. P4 at least does stop the tick here for now. And the south, the T-72 has been dealt with. So Hotbrass might be in a position here to at least push the south back. The northern situation is still questionable, especially if you get hit by the Conquerors on the side armor. Second Conquerors coming around. Both AMX-30B2s do fall here immediately. Hotbrass and really hot waters. As Chasseurs coming up, this is trouble here for the player in blue. Losing once more all units here that were giving him power over the north at all. The southern situation is still looking nice, but the MX-30B2 is always a bit aggressive here maybe. This time, luckily for him, no Modschützen directly in here. These ones are routed, the other one's a bit too far away. T-72 M1's coming up, and an M version as well though. If he can find a kill on the SPW, he still needs another CV for the south. MX-30B2's there, coming in number. Eclairs and Chasseurs here, at least getting in nicely. Pioneers should go down. Modschützen under fire. Will go down soon as well, but the T-72 M1 coming up. Ooh, S-22, good smoke there. Roland's trying their best. One hit, second one most likely not gonna hit. Yeah, no. But at least the S-22 will be out for a while. Whilst over here, the Gazelle Hot trying to find some hits on something. They got a T-72 up here, I believe. Yes. MX-30B2 does fall to the other T-72M1 though, and it doesn't quite get the kill. T-72 is still alive, can be repaired. Chasseurs trying to push forward, but they only have the LRAC is a good anti-tank rocket with the 850 mil range, but it's not quite amazing frontally running into a T-72. And there's more T-55s here now coming around as well. Chasseurs under heavy fire. More getting pushed back over here. MiG-23 ML flying in the north. Trying to find some hits. Trying to find some kills. Chasseurs in the ground doing their thing. As the Rolands try to get a hit here on MiG-23 ML. Not quite finding it. T-72 versus AMX-30B2. B2 slightly faster on the reload here, but T-55 is coming around, getting the kill here. AMX-30B2 bites the dust, and this is starting to get pretty problematic, especially if Mirage 2000... What is the Mirage 2000 doing over here? Oh my god, that thing flew to the completely wrong spot. At least the Roland 3 does the job from the ground. MiG-23 goes down. Okay, Mirage 2000 is fine. Jaguar ATGM has a lot of work cut out for it. The amount of tanks on the front line now really in favor of the red side here. Harry Air with a lot of T-72s and a good couple of T-55s nowadays around as well. Only 2 AMX-30s here currently close to the front line. A couple more coming up. Mirage 2000 does, or 200 rather, does survive the SAM hit from the Coupe there. Coupe getting replaced here. As the ATGM Jaguar still trying to find a kill. But down the south, the Hot 2s here, those can be quite dangerous. It is about to run out of ATGMs though. Jaguar coming around as well. Okay, finds a kill on one T-72. And the Hot finds a kill on two T-55s. That's important hits here. Both sides for sure bleeding quite a lot of units lately. But it's still looking in my eyes a slight bit better here for Harry Air. Good couple of good hits here though with the Gazelle Hot, with the Rolands, and with the Jaguar ATGM there for a while here now for Hotbrass. But the ground tank fight's still not going in his favor. And the infantry pushing a bit too much over open grounds, a bit too many times here. Getting eaten up completely. The Chasseurs in the south died all relatively needlessly. This Grenadier Voltigeur Apilas here now getting suicided a bit too much as well. And now the AMX-30s here in a bit of trouble. One T-55 goes down. The T-72 will fire first though, and both AMX-30B2s will go down here. In the meantime, only one T-55, that is not a trade that you want to take at all. Roland 3s have to retreat. We only have 3 tanks here now on the side of blue. We have 4 already in the south alone for red, and more infantry coming up. Good AA network now getting online as well, so the Jaguar ATGMs will have a really hard time finding any success here in the near future. Chasseurs in the north, not good enough to deal with the T-72s. If they would have Apilas, the damage potential there would be quite nice, but with the LRAC against the on their own against the T-72, if the T-72 runs into them frontally, it's not good enough. Chasseurs here under fire, whilst the 120mm mortars continue firing here onto these boys. Jaguar HE coming around. Solid hit here, close by. T-72 M1 down to 4 hit points. Gazelle Hot coming around. That's the MX-30B2. The MX-10 RC roll in here as well. Dragon Para coming up. Rolands trying their best. Getting the kill, but the SH cluster gets its kill as well. And yeah, the Rolands for sure not to blame for this loss. Hotbrass getting a lot of work out of these bad boys. And yeah, Roland 3s, since the price change, really efficient in my eyes. Like, especially if you get them out in pairs, can absolutely do their job. But the tank fights here, really not the strong suit of Hotbrass. And the infantry positioning, always a bit off as well. And that is leading to a pretty major advantage here now for Harry Air. If Harry Air doesn't do any major mistake, like for example suiciding all of this here into these, as MX-10s and MX-30s still have potential of some nice kills here, for sure, if you do it wrong, and then maybe with a CV down here and the CV in here, Hotbrass could take it, turn it around again. But if these units in the north maybe are even used for a push here, as there's nothing in here at all, putting a bit more of the issue on Hotbrass. Plus, if the trades down here go somewhat okay, Harry Air should be in a magnificent position. T-72 moving forward, MX-30B2 coming around. Trying to find some kill to these bad boys here. MX-10RC pushing forward. Me too. Moving around. Sitting up there. Jaguar ATGM flying in the skies. Trying to get some ground hits here. Trying to get some kills. But two MiG-23A here coming up. MiG-23ML will most likely, yes, there we go, deal with that. Roland's both still having missiles. Can they find another kill? No, both miss. And the B2's completely on their own. Maybe also a bit too little support around the tanks. Like, yes, we are in the tank meta, especially if you want to play a longer game. I still think that the tank meta is only a thing if you consider, if you play the standard long game. If you want to play fast, you can play it with something like 11th or TKS quite nicely as well, based on around infantry. But yes, even in the tank meta, the tanks still need support. They still need support all around. The chasseurs here moving forward. +3 for Harrier. And the MX-30s and MX-10s here in a hard fight against the T-72s. And yeah, both sides had medium tanks, but the medium tanks of Harrier always supported by good positioned Modschützen. And the Modschützen have the worst AT rockets compared to the Apilas. And even the LSC on the other side is relatively comparable thanks to its massive range. But they were just way better positioned every time here. And yeah, getting an RPG on an MX-30 does soften them up quite nicely. And then they can get killed here by something like a T-72. And these fights here really not going Hotbrass's way. T-55 and T-72s coming up. At least the north got dealt with here to some extent. One T-72 had to retreat. The MX-30s there holding the line quite nicely. Gazelle hot helping out a bit as well. As these T-72s here might find the Roland. No, Roland does survive. Okay, that is important. As more MX-30s are brought in here. More and more of them moving to the front line. T-55s coming around. Jaguar coming in, but there's just way too much AA here. If this thing survives, it would be rather surprising. Coops coming around, and there we go. Yeah, 3 Coops and a Estrella. That's not something you want to send in the Jaguar. Into Su-22 cluster. Coming around for the south. Not quite on target. Though, if unfortunate, Hotbrass actually might move into it. No. Doesn't do that. Roland's out of ammo though. That is a massive problem. Gets a hit at least in with the last missile. S-22 is softened up. But Harrier has the point advantage and is continuing the pressure. Gazelle Hots here doing a fantastic job throughout the game. Like, for their price, as they only cost you 55 points, they do a pretty good task here. T-55A under fire. Will get hit, will get killed. Good job for the Gazelle Hot. More MX-30B2s coming up. TRM 2000 rolling in as well. 120mm mortar. Trying to hit the southern units here. Chasseurs sitting in the corner. MX-30B moving up as well. Gazelle Hot 2. Trying to deal with T-55. Not quite spotting it yet. As T-72's setting up for the south. Modschützen coming around here as well. Conquerors trying to get a hit. Ooh, they do get it. 4 damage here on the MX-30B. The P-81 trying to get a hit here. And it seems like Harrier might win the first game in this best of 3. As the Akatsias coming in as well. Bit unnecessary maybe. But yeah, going for the counter battery here. That P-81 might be in trouble. The Gazelle Hot here still doing a good job. Some Iglas maybe might be nice. Trying to help out against it. MX-30B2s moving around from the north. Conqueror's still in good positions though. As the MX-30B2 might be in trouble there. Ooh. just quite doesn't get hit. MiG-23s and Su-22 ATGMs coming around. AMX-30s just about getting in cover. Roland still needs some help though. Artillery landing around here as well. The VAB need to be careful. Mirage 200 coming in, but it will have some issues with all the coups on the ground. Coup missiles going out. One of them actually finds the hit. Mirage 200 really badly hurt there, whilst MX-30Bs moving up as well. Down in the south, BMP-1s trying to hold the line here. The B2 here actually in the distance where it could get killed. T-72 is getting repaired. Position still not fully lost for Hotbrass, but it is a tough one. Somehow needs to break the south here, and that is not gonna be easy at all. Roland needs to be reloaded. One is reloaded already. Mistral coming up. As the Akatsias will also just try to get the kill here on the Chasseur, most likely eventually. Try to get some ticks in the middle. As more AMX-30B2s come up quite a lot. The tank printer is for sure on. AMX-30B getting hit, but the Conqueror's ATGMs really nicely positioned here for Harrier. They make the life of Hotbrass a lot harder. Would have liked to see one in the south as well, maybe. As the T-72s here do a good job as well, though. With more Mordschützen, more T-72s coming in. BMP-1P going down. CV also super low down here. Airplay could kill it quite easily. BMP goes down. AMX-30B2 gets killed in the south as well, though. Conquerors actually does connect. T-72 M1 hitting the Chasseur in the north. And Harrier here in a bit of trouble in the south, but it should be manageable. Mistral gets it against the Me Too. Me Too, luckily for Harrier, 6 hit points here. So that one does survive for now. We'll have to get back to the rear though. Maybe get some repairs or at least stay a bit out of range. MX-30Bs coming in. MX-10RC for the north. That's the B2s here moving around. MX-30B under fire. Chasseurs under fire as well. Conquerors getting hit here. Yeah, MX-30B gets hurt. T-72 M1 under fire. MX-30B has to retreat. 12A getting hit there, but still alive, and the front line does hold here for now. Mistral gets another shutout, but more T-72s have arrived, more BMPs have arrived, outnumbering the enemy tanks here now, and that is a massive problem. There is a good setup here in the center, but with the 3 Conquerors here, I feel like Harrier has a really solid setup against us. And in general, around here, somewhat nicely set up. And still has the Air Force as well, T-72 moving around there as well. At least the command Chasseurs being moved out of it for now. Chasseur over here goes down. Ooh, Conquerors already finding some hits against the AMX-30Bs. Hotbrass has to be really careful there. Another one gets hit. The Alouette Recon goes down as well. Nice hits there for Harrier once more. The tanks in the south try to maneuver around. Still 150 points basically down here, Hotbrass on nearly 150 points. No major reinforcements coming in. Maybe investing into some Air Force, but with the coups, with the Strellas, that's not really going to be manageable. AMX-10s moving around the north. Panzerjäger, they're not quite in the spot it needs to be. Pioneers under fire. Panzerjäger here should move closer. Whilst in the center, the AMX-30s try to move around. T-72 and BMP one piece with their ATGMs, and the Conquerors trying their best here to kill these guys off. MiG-23s coming around as well. Rolands, there is one. There's a MiG Mirage, gets the kill, gets killed off as well though. Su-22, pretty scary. One AMX-30 killed, one bailed out. The rest still alive. AMX-30B2 CV in the south goes down. Panzerjägers here on the hunt as well. One more bailout over here. There's still enough tanks up here for Harrier. This is looking pretty desperate here now for the player in blue. Su-22 ATGM going down, but an AMX-30B2 goes down as well. And yeah, the ATGM setup here, really, really nice. Another B2 bites the dust in the south. That's all of them down or bailed out. 2 more CV versions come in, but there's just way too much over here now. With all the Mordschützen, with all the T-72s, I don't see how this should be broken. Harrier in a really, really good position here now in game number 1. Should be able to bring this home. Whilst in the north, AMX-10RC versus T-72. AMX-10RC goes down. T-72 once more stays supreme there. And this is getting really problematic. One more last tank wave here for Hotbrass, but it's a bit too much believing into the AMX-30 here. The Hot 2s worked really nicely for him. The airplanes worked really nicely for him. But the tank fights and the infantry fights just not quite working out. Maybe could have used some more Milans as well. Like anything outside of just tanks. Like, as I said, like, tanks are powerful. Tanks are your damage dealers at the moment. They are for sure considered too strong at the moment. But it's not about tanks only. That is not quite how it works. Especially if the other guy can do the same thing, obviously. It is a lot about how you support these bad boys. And, for example, yeah, Conquerors here. Really, really effective. Absolute MVPs here for Harrier. And this is a big, big problem here now for Hotbrass. T-72 moving forward. Trying to come in. T-72 M1. Moving around here as well. Conquerors getting repaired. And reloaded. Artillery coming up. T-72 moving around as well. The Sirs. They try to get hit here as well. Gazelle Hot needs some reloads to land for that. It's currently still flying. Roland 2 coming around. Cluster here trying to get a hit. Roland 2 gets the kill. Mirage. Cluster coming in from the other side. Gets a good cluster out there as well. Most likely not gonna survive it on the way out though. First coup hit. Second coup hit. There's a Strela down here as well. And it gets two T-72s. It gets a BMP-1. So good hit there. But there's not enough to follow it up with. And BMP-1s and Watchitson here still pushing forward. One AMX-30B2 still around, but there's two T-72s on the other side. Panzerjägers here in the south, finding another AMX-30. Doing a really good job. T-72s holding the line nicely here for now as well. As the AMX-30B2 here under fire. T-72 gets the bailout immediately. Artillery landing around here. T-72 pushing forward. As AMX-30B2 goes down in the south again. 72's here going down a bit as well, as there's a good number of these kind of vehicles. Cluster bomber here maybe could be nice. But center is looking bad. This tank push here actually might work out. Harrier attacking a bit too piecemeal. T-72 here on its own again. Gets another AMX-30B2 at least killed. But now is in a lot of trouble. As it tries to disengage. AMX-30B2 PC trying to follow. Milan 2 here under fire. Trying to get a hit onto the T-72 M1. It's a GM flying. SU-22 trying to come in for the kill. Goes down. Milan 2 actually going down over here. Chasseur has been found. Motschützen attacking it already. And trying to push it out. Chasseur, commander, under fire. T-72 coming in. Artillery fire coming in on this position as well now. The command Chasseur getting hit there, losing quite a lot of hit points, most likely gonna go down to the next artillery hit there. And here we go. This should be the victory in the center here. T-72 M1 goes down to the Milan 2 immediately here. That's what I'm talking about. Milan 2s here in good spots could have been really, really nice throughout this game, but it was only AMX-30 non-stop. And as I said, tanks are strong at the moment. Tanks are most likely too strong at the moment, but you still need to support them. And it's still about the support play in a match like this. If both sides have good tanks to their proposal, it is about how you use them in the combined arms still. It is, and if you just rush your AMX-30s forward like this, there are consequences for it. Bomber goes down here. Traits still favorable here for Harrier. Harrier on the +1, even with the CV here. Entering the south for Hotbrass. And that is a major, major issue with 9 minutes only remaining. Harrier on the tick. I don't see how Hotbrass is going to enter the center again. T-72s in the south, coming in a bit too piecemeal, as I said before. Artillery could be used here to help out against the south. Nice T-72 helping out there. plane coming in as well. Artillery trying to land some shot. AMX-30 CV goes down to the T-72 M1 there actually. That is really, really big. AMX-30 B2 now under fire here as well. It will find a hit here on the T-72 M1. But the AMX-30 still in trouble. And Hotbrass does surrender here. GGVP to Harry Air here in game number 1. With a pretty solid KD as well. Harry Air doing a good job. And Hotbrass will have to figure out a way of how to recover in game number 2. As Harry Air is on match ball with this. So yeah, kill-wise, T-72's doing a good job throughout the game. On the other side, if we have a look here, some AMX-30s killing off a couple of BMPs, but that's fine. Roland 2s, as I said, absolute MVPs. Like this Roland, absolute monster, shooting down 5 planes. The Roland's for sure not to blame here, but the ground fight's just not going Hotbrass's way, and that means that everybody. Game number 2, Hotbrass versus Harry Air. Harry Air on match point over here, bringing in the 5th win day this time around. And we'll see if he can make it work. As Hotbrass is bringing in a division I'm pretty excited for here. Hotbrass coming in with the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment. And we even have... Do we have... Yeah, we have an M1A1 ACAV on the battlefield from the get-go down here. Coming in next to Kiowa Warrior. Not the biggest fan of this one, especially not if the enemy has Roland 2s and a lot of Mistrals and so on. Like that thing, and good helicopter aircraft that can shoot it down as well. It's just too expensive in my eyes. Like 4 hit points for a helicopter with 130 points cost, no matter what weapons it carries. Just too expensive. 2 Iltis leader here coming in from the get-go as well for Harry Air. Whilst on the other side, we see a good couple of AMX-30 B2s. And once more, guys, the shout out. If you want to play in a tournament again, the WARNO League Super Tournament number 2 is coming around on the 8th and 9th of July. And you can sign up there once more. There will be prize pool. And yeah, let's go around. We have some Eclairs, some AMX-10s, some Super Pumas all coming in here. Whilst we have some Humvees with scouts coming up. Quite a small force. I would expect some airplane in here. Let's see. F-16s most likely. Yeah, there we go. Coming around. Whilst on the other side, we see a couple of MX-30Bs Prentice, but they're all left behind. What? Come on. Harry Air here. A bit sloppy at the start. That is not supposed to happen. Mirages and F-16s fighting in the sky. F-16 finding the kill there. There's an AMX-13 as the only AA on the ground. As we see VABs moving forward. Iltis leader here for the 11th will capture everything. No CVs on the other side. P4 coming around. F-16's doing a good job. For now, keeping the way clear for the Kiovars. No ground-based AA though. Is a bit risky. And no A-10s, which was the thing that I kind of expected to see here. Or are they still on the way? Is that still planned? I'm not 100% sure. Scouts moving around over here. Commandos trying to come in. Getting pushed back for now. And their Super Puma Iltis leader coming in for the north. Coming in for the south. That will be a +10 for a while. No CV here coming in for Harry Air whatsoever. And that is quite dangerous against the +10. +10 is 400 points per minute. Super Puma goes down to the F-16, but not before getting its commandos out. Kiowa Warrior here. Getting some nice hits though. Getting one VAB with Voltigius still inside. Second one, it gets the VAB. Voltigius got outside though. Nearly paid off with that. If it would have killed the Voltigius as well, it would have paid off already. Meanwhile, Bradley and M1A1 ACAVs moving around in the south. Scouts coming up. No reinforcements here on the for ground forces whatsoever just yet. A couple of units now being bought. Some dismounted troopers. Iltis leader here will try to sneak in. AMX-10 RC moving around in the north. As the Prentice finally start to get moving. VAB around here. M1A1 ACAF pushing forward. Reservists don't have any AT weapons whatsoever. So they will just get run over, but they're also really cheap. Kiowa has to be careful, needs to get the hell out of there. Doesn't want to fight this AMX-13. It outranges it, so it can use its ATGM against it. As this only has 2,600 meter range. 2,800 meter range here on the Kiowa. F-16 flying around as well, trying to get some helicopters killed. Reservists under fire. Getting hit pretty badly. Bradley moving around as well. And three Prentices versus two M1A1s will be a tough fight. Alouette going down. But the MX-10P has to be careful in the north with the Kiowa around. Kiowa will now try to get the hit there. Oh. One shot out. On this range it should hit. Gets the kill. The Kiowa really paying off here. Mirage coming around to finally kill it off. M1A1 goes down, but so does two Prentice already. So it's a 1-1 between the Prentice and the other M1A1. M1A1 so far trading decently there. They're pretty expensive. The ACAFs, you usually want to use one of them and then other M1s around it. Using both at the same spot has been constant and card inefficient. And the AMX-10 in the north is in a pretty scary spot here for Hotbrass. Hotbrass still on a +4, but needs more reinforcements on the front line. I'm not sure where all the points go here right now for Hotbrass. Maybe all in the air? I'm not sure because the amount of ground units is really, really low. Dismounted troopers here quite a bit on their own here. Fighting Falcons not really having a chance of doing much damage there. Mirage 200 will have a chance of getting behind the F-16 though, as it is flying a pretty terrible curve there. No AA on the ground whatsoever, no iHawk around just yet. Mirage gets the kill there. Two more F-16s coming in. Okay, so yeah, air investments it is here for Hotbrass. But the Mirage 200 is a really, really fast plane. It will get away here. As the M1A1 ACAF has to be careful. Another M1A1 coming around. Another Kiowa Warrior. I like the first one in the end, like it was used well, but I don't like a second one here at all. Especially as there's no ground-based AA, so you are relying on the F-16s, which take forever to come in and they can't be around all the time. And then it just takes a Mirage 200 to shoot this thing down immediately and you don't have any iHawks to retaliate. Eclair's trying to get into a sneaky position over here. Hotbrass has a nice point advantage, but the rest here I'm not too convinced about yet. Brennis coming around. MX-10P Milan moving up there as well. MX-30B2. It's a +2 now here for Harry Air. As we see an Cobra Cyanide flying in here now. That one is a pretty beautiful little helicopter. It has the tow tube. It has some Hydra rockets. It can for sure deal some damage. CAF moving around as well. And yeah, especially with the Cyanide being around in your deck, I really don't get the Kiowa. Like, the Cyanide has double the hit points. It can survive some AA. It has a 20mm autocannon. It has the Hydra rockets. Yes, it doesn't have the optics, but they are not super helpful. And the Hellfire is a bit better, I guess, than the TOW2, but not that much better. Only Mark moving around here. M1A1 ACAF getting onto the Chasseur. Scout moving forward. We have some Milans coming up in the north. We have 3 AMX 30s now. And the ACAF already damaged. No more reinforcements coming in for the south outside of that right now. As the Kiowa is trying to find an angle here to deal some damage. MX-10, good movement there though. As we have the tanks pushing in. Scouts coming up as well. Milan is pretty scary. Kiowa finds an angle for its missile for a second there. But not for long enough, it seems. Okay, there we go. Finally finds the kill. Down to 1 missile now, though. But it gets the MX-10. Dismounted troopers pushing forward. M1A1 and the Cavs coming in there as well. M1A1 in the south, though. Over-eager. I don't know why it didn't wait for the repairs. Gets some nice damage onto some AMX-30s. But goes down. And with that, all the support for these units in the south is down. The Iltis leader here in trouble. Units in the north trying to push in. Grenadier voltages on the fire. Cyanide not moving in just yet. Once we have 2 M1A1s coming up, but they will not have any support. Hotbrass really listening a bit too much about that and reading a bit too much about that tank meta, it seems. And yeah, investing a bit too much into it. Like, yes, M1A1s are super important. I played 11th Cav in my latest YouTube video on this map as well. And yes, you need a good amount of M1A1s, but they only work if you have recon for them. They only work if you have some AA cover for them. Outside of that, they're still just clunky boxes that get side-shotted, that get bombed, and they're really expensive. They're 250 points. You can't just int them in there if the enemy is somewhat capable, and that is, in my eyes, a big problem here now. These M1A1s, like, one of them is a nice investment. The second one should have been reinforcements of AA and recon for it, like one Bradley maybe and Ihawk or so, and a supply truck. And then that would have been way more efficient. Could have used the Bradley then for recon and for TOW2 support. Autocannon helpful as well. Meanwhile, up north, M1A1 here, engaging onto the Milan, getting the kill there. Scouts helping out. And that is nice at least. But yeah, another kill here on the Kiowa warrior. Situation. We have 16s trying to fly around. Trying to get some kills here up north, but they're Vulcan not dealing super much damage in crowd and strafing. M1A1 still around, but both of the M728 Cav going down. M1A1 CP coming up. So yeah, more and more M1A1s. Eclair getting some damage in here. Forcing the M1A1 to turn its side armor against the MX-30s, and the MX-30s absolutely punish that. That's what I'm talking about here. Hotbrass, way too much listening to the tanks, and here way too much focused on just getting big boys. Already was an issue in game number 1 where tanks were not even the most efficient tool for Hotbrass, and here it seems to be the same case once more. Northern situation, at least still somewhat decent here. MX-30 B2s here coming in on the other side. Harry Air maybe getting out positioned there a bit, and the M1A1 here now getting some nice work in. Milan 2 was not in the perfect spot there to deliver with the M1A1. But the south is going quite nicely, +4 situation still on. And 3 MX-30 B2s have, Brennus even have arrived here. So the M1A1 might be in trouble here now as well. 1 versus 3, it should not win the duel. If the dismounted troopers maybe can get one, then it might start to become possible. But you have to be somewhat fortunate there. M1A1 gets shot out, gets the kill onto the first one. That is pretty important. You can do the same thing with another one, then maybe there's hope. But it's not gonna be easy. +4 for Harry Air, still going on. And MX-30 B2 chilling in the south, both damaged. Supply trucks coming in. Another tank coming in there. Cyanide moving around. Mistral pushed back. Harry Air actually scared here, seemingly. Disengaging. No AA in the north outside of this Mistral, and the Mistral might be empty. No, wait. Oh, it didn't. It was just turned off, it seems. Seems like that Mistral had just its weapon turned off. Weird. As Hotbrass is contesting the north now. Mirage gets the Cyanide though. Second one coming in, but not having Ihawks here. Major mistakes. Like, the Ihawk as a backbone for your air defense, really important in this deck in my eyes. Especially if you want to use that many helicopters. Because as long as the Mirages can just come in and kill, they are efficient. If you actually kill a Mirage every time they come in to kill a helicopter, you start to trade relatively positively, relatively quickly. And you might even be able to save 1 or 2. And then they have to waste more Mirages on you. So, yeah, I would have liked to see at least 2 of the Ihawks here, instead of wasting so many helicopters, because they don't have any protection whatsoever. And the F-16's not that amazing on this map. They have a long way in. We rush 200 really fast. Yeah, another Cyanide here in trouble. Going down. No Mirage no F-16 coming out whatsoever. And that is what I'm talking about. And now the MX-30 B2s here engaging the M1A1. First one in the front already down. Scouts going down here as well. Gazelle Hot 2 can hand down this guy here as well. Commandos even could come around for a rear shot. Another Cyanide trying to come in here. As you see some Fighting Falcons now flying around this time around. The south, Bradley and M1A1. Bradley finally has arrived. Another M1A1 coming up for the north. The AH coming around. M1A1 though goes down to the Commandos, and that is the end of the north. That is back to a +4 here, and that is the end of the game as well, and the end of the tournament, with Harry Air as the victorious player of this tournament, getting the first spot in the first WARNO SDL rookie tournament. Big shout out to Phoenix for organizing it all. Big shout out to all the coaches that helped out. And yeah, it was a lovely being part of it. I really enjoyed my time with my rookies. Sadly, was a bit busy at the time when the tournament started, but really enjoyed it still. And I hope it was helpful for my rookies. And yeah, GGVP here to Harry and Hotbrass. They really have come a long way since the beginning of the tournament. And in the end, Hotbrass with the Harry Air here with the victory over Hotbrass. But still, good show from Hotbrass throughout the tournament. Good run up to here. Just a bit too stuck in the tank meta. A bit too deep in there in the buying of tanks. And yeah, Kiowa Warriors need better protection than this if you want to use them. So GGVP here. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching this cast. And